Everyone's vocal cords are okay this morning? Did you guys, most of you guys get out to karaoke last night? That was fun, right? It was a good time. I had a couple little technical issues with my microphone stand, but other than that, it went pretty well. So yesterday was a lot of fun. It was great to interact with as many people that I could talk to and that I got to meet. And so Sunday's a pretty exciting day. If you'll notice, there's 2 chairs up here, which means we have 2 pretty incredible guests for you guys to chat with. 2 of my favorite people on the show. I've always loved Cheryl's character, her snappy dialogue, and the way that Madelaine delivers it. And so right from the pilot reading, I was always impressed with Madelaine's take on Cheryl. And then Vanessa came aboard, who is a fellow Canadian as well. So a lot of Canadians on our show, which is really cool for me. And she created this great character of Toni Topaz, and sort of where that whole storyline went. And so very interesting, and so I'm really excited that they were able to make it today, because you guys are going to love them. They're a lot of fun, and I know they love their fans. So let's bring them out. Madelaine Petsch and Vanessa Morgan, come on out! Hey guys, good morning. Have fun guys. There you go, gang. Enjoy yourselves. We'll chat with you in a bit. Cheers.
I love how cute this group is. It's like a nice little personal, hangout sesh. Wow, everyone's got their phones out. Hi, come talk to us. Experience. Don't you need to record. Hello. Hi. All right. You guys want to ask us some questions? Do you want us to sit up here and banter for 30 minutes? Because we could also do that. I say some questions. I say some
but it makes it, Usually somebody's on stage with us and they're like
monitoring
their
questions, things like that.
So we just go over there.
Yeah, just go to the little mics over there and ask some questions.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Yes.
In reality, you could probably just say it because it's like,
Too late.
Yeah. Go big or go home,
Testing, cool. So believe it or not, I'm a new Riverdale fan, so I'm like 2 episodes in. So I'm gonna ask a question from another show. It's directed to Vanessa.
Oh, wow.
Okay. My babysitter's a vampire.
Yes.
Yeah. We got left on a major cliffhanger. Did they ever tell you what happened or was supposed to happen?
No, see, they never told us what was supposed to happen. Basically, the show was supposed to come back. So it just it seems so morbid that Disney Channel ended it after a big explosion. It makes it seem like we all died.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but basically the show was supposed to come back, and the ratings were awesome, so it had nothing to do with that. It was because the Canadian production company didn't want to sell it for the amount the American production company was offering it for. But it's so funny because it was like last year, I think we're still alive, because last year they were pitching it to Netflix to bring back another movie, My Babysitter's a Vampire, and the producer called me about it. But yeah, so I mean there's hope that there could be just like another revamped movie. I think Sarah would be like overseeing a younger group of kids. I don't think it would be like the same thing. I think it'd be like a new generation, but yeah, it's definitely a cool idea.
Well, you should do it.
I would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know, it's so dark. I
I
don't know
love
that.
My Babysitter's Vampire.
Hi.
Hi.
What was your favorite Riverdale scene to shoot?
What? We've done some fun ones. What do you feel like? Was it? Or was it?
I know she's gonna say anything that involves kissing me.
Oh, I teased your nose!
What?
Did you do serpent sign? How cute that is? Oh, you're gonna just cut it? Okay, sure, whatever. My favorite scene was actually a scene in season 1 when you weren't in the show. It was with Veronica when she was fixing my hair for my brother's funeral.
Okay, cute.
Yeah. Oh my God, what was your favorite scene to shoot? Yes.
Honestly, I mean,
It was so fun when I first got cast, just kind of like
experiencing the serpents for the first time just because I watched the whole season 1 and I was excited about becoming a serpent. So I think just like getting to be involved in becoming part of Southside was like a cool experience for me. And then obviously all the scenes of our relationship and us growing was really cool. I think like when we first started dating was the most fun. Like,
I think my favorite scene with you was still when you came to the movies.
I love that.
I have a question. Anyone can feel free to chip in here. Do you feel like Toni was never going to meet up with Sweet Pea at the movies? Because, you know, I go to the movies because my mom is like holding a brothel in my home, normal teen problems. And I go to the movies and I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And then you show up and you're like, oh, I was supposed to meet Sweet Pea, but he canceled. And then we like fall apart.
Yeah, that was probably a
We
lie.
had that scene, by the way. There was a scene in the movie theater where we're supposed to be eating popcorn and we end up like brushing our hands at the same time. And we look at each other and I start crying and I look at her. It was a really cute scene, but like, it's okay, but that's my favorite. Wait, but do you think, you didn't have a question.
What was the question?
Do you think that it was a lie? That Sweet Pea was supposed to
Oh, yes, I do think it was a lie. I think I did it on
Cheryl.
purpose. Because I was like liking the challenge. You know, Cheryl was like, I was like, oh, she's like a challenge for me. This is fun.
Hi. I love you guys so much, and I was just wondering like how you guys got into acting.
Well, I started off with singing. I started singing when I was like 5 years old, and I would perform around my town. At the time was Palm Springs, California. And then an agent saw me singing and was like, you should get into acting. And I was like, oh, okay. And then my parents would drive me to auditions, and I booked my first series when I was 13. That's kind of how it started for me. It was called The Latest Buzz.
And I just always wanted to do it. I knew that when I was like 3 years old and just moved to LA when I was 18. And did the grind, usual auditioning stuff and worked 3 jobs. And now I'm on Riverdale.
Hello. Hi. So I have a question for Vanessa and Madelaine. So Vanessa, what did it take for you to turn from a vampire to a pretty poison? Like how did it feel?
From like my Babysitter's Vampire Show, Pretty Poison?
Yeah.
I mean, it felt pretty cool. That's a hard question. I mean, they're 2 completely different roles. Obviously, a vampire is like supernatural, where Pretty Poison is like a gang member, which I still kind of felt like a vampire. It felt like a gang, so there's similarities in that aspect. But I have a theory that, again, to answer your question about the explosion, my theory that's in my own mind is that after the explosion, Sarah actually just zoomed into the life of Toni and took on Toni Topaz. Makes sense why she doesn't have any family. So, yeah.
And then for Madelaine, why the heck is Cheryl talking to her dead brother?
Good question.
Well, kids, Cheryl is a complicated soul. And I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but if your father killed your brother and then hung himself, and then your mother became a mistress of the night and started running a brothel in your home, and then tried to kill all of your friends as the guardrail king and then ran away, I think you would be a little bit emotionally messed up. So I feel like she's just really clinging on to like the one thing that was pure in her life, you know, because her girlfriend and her have had some problems this year. So, no, but Jason's like the first thing that ever felt pure to her. So I think she's holding on to that. I'm not saying it's right or normal, but she's doing it.
Okay, thank you.
I wanted to know if you girls knew since the beginning you were going to be a couple, and if not, what was your reaction? How did you feel shooting?
We were pushing that from day one, weren't we? We were like, that's what it has to be.
As soon as I found out we were cast, we were like, well, you haven't been in a relationship on the show, and like, you know, I'm into girls, so we should make this happen.
And then we just pitched it to Roberto.
Yeah.
And he was like, ladies, you don't even know. Like, he was already on it.
Yeah.
We were all on the same page.
So we were excited.
So what did you do when you found out you booked Riverdale? Like, what was your reaction?
I was working as a personal assistant to a photographer, and I was currently retouching somebody's headshot, and I got the phone call, and I ran outside and I quit. And then I cried for like 5 minutes. I mean, I'm still best friends with that woman. She's a phenomenal photographer and a great friend, and she was very happy for me. I wasn't like an a-hole about it, but I was very excited. I like laughed and cried, and I jumped up and down and screamed and called everybody that I loved, and it was like it's a life-changing moment that you don't ever expect to happen, and it happened. So I was very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited as well. I auditioned for season 1 and I didn't get the part. And when I got the call saying I got the part for season 2, I was filming Shannara Chronicles at the time, and I was in my trailer and I was same thing, jumping up and down. I called Madelaine and my family, and I was just super excited that was going to be the next chapter.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else in this audience want to ask us some questions? You guys just want to look at us? Sounds like that's the consensus. Do you guys want to know anything? You don't have to get up. You can yell from your chair.
Yeah, if you don't feel like getting up. I mean, like, honestly, why would you have a microphone so you can all hear us, right? Right? I mean, like, is this a little bit more intimate if we just talk to you? What do you, yeah, there we go. That's easy.
When you have like a bad day or something, is there something that you do? When you have like a bad day or something, like, is there something you do to like pep yourself up or, get you through a long day or something?
I love to drink tea, so I'll make myself a nice little tea, and I'll draw myself a bath, and light my candles, and read a good book, with essential oil diffusers on, call a girlfriend, have a little rant sesh, call my boyfriend, and then go to sleep.
Honestly, I really love those self-help poetry books, like Milk and Honey, Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel. I love all those. Mhm.
I do with the mic. Okay. So regular people, we watch TV just to watch TV for enjoyment. But as actors, do you watch it, to learn more tips for your craft, or do you actually just enjoy it? And also, do you watch yourself on TV, or is that a no?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, 50% of the time I'm watching it just for enjoyment, and I have my favorite shows that I love on Netflix. And then sometimes I'm watching it because I think these actors are brilliant and I want to learn from them and improve my own acting skills based on how their reactions are. And I do watch myself because I think some people don't like watching themselves. I do watch, because I'm like, I could have done, obviously I'm more critical, but it's like, I could have done that better. And I think watching is the only way to have, some self-improvement.
I co-sign what she just said. I mean, I think you kind of, a lot of actors don't watch themselves, which I find very interesting. You have to remember, you need feedback in your job to know what you're doing well and what you can improve on, and I think that's so important. Constructive criticism is so important, but you're your harshest critic. So if you go and you watch yourself, you're like, okay, what I thought was reading here, what my intention was, didn't read the way it should have, what can I change next time? So I think it's important to, even if it sucks, I don't enjoy it, I'm thinking of how many things I want to cut off or whatever when I'm watching the screen, but it's you just kind of grow from it and you have to learn. And also, I love watching TV, but I don't enjoy watching scripted television as much because I always have this actor brain on all the time. So I watch a lot of reality or Food Network.
It's true. Reality is a guilty pleasure of mine for when it comes to fully enjoying.
Fully enjoying, brain fully turned off.
Yeah, brain
reality
turned off.
of the world.
Yeah.
Well, what shows do y'all watch?
What shows do you watch? Millionaire Matchmaker. We used to watch that.
We used to watch
We used to
Millionaire
binge watch
Matchmaker
it.
all the time, obsession, following her on Twitter, literally, backing up. This was 4 years ago.
I love Chopped. Anything food related I like.
I love Say Yes to the Dress. I was watching that this morning. 4 Weddings was on, so I was watching that one. I love Ozark.
Cupcake Wars. Oh, Ozark, yes, love Ozark. Dirty John was really good.
Dirty John
Dirty
was
John was so
good.
good. It's a really binge-worthy show. And it's a true story. I love that.
End of the effing, when I was in the word, world.
Was really good.
Really good.
Yeah. They just put out the new season of Black Mirror. Do you guys watch Black Mirror?
So I'm on the second episode of it, and I'm not loving it as much as I usually do. So I'm skeptical.
No, did you watch Bandersnatch? Did you guys watch Bandersnatch? Anyone?
I love Bandersnatch. Oh,
You didn't love Bandersnatch?
Didn't.
That is the future of television. If you don't know what it is,
I think it is the future television.
it is like a choose your own adventure. So it's like video game meets what like enjoying entertainment. So you pick what happens to the characters. I think that's what we're going to be filming in 10 years' time. I truly think so.
It's gonna take a lot more time to film though, because you have to film all the like
All of the
turn right,
options.
turn left.
Yeah. It's going to be like a 10-month show turns into like a 4-year show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to start the society. I'm gonna probably start that next week. I don't know if it's good. It's good.
It's good.
I've heard it's really good.
We'll watch it. Like, okay, crazy. I like crazy. Nice.
What parts did you originally audition for?
I originally auditioned for Josie. Yeah, so, and that's where I met Madelaine for the first time. And I met Ashley for the first time there too, so it was kind of crazy because when you're in a final round for a part like that, you're literally sitting in the same room as your competition. Yeah. So it's like you're sitting there having conversations and they go in the room and then sometimes you like hear them sing or hear their lines and it's like, hey, you're next. Yeah, and they're like longer than they're longer than me. But yeah, I love Ashley, but that's, you only went out for Cheryl Watson.
Cheryl Watson from day one. And Jason. Wake up! Did you have a question? You had a question.
Okay, this is a vegan question. If Pops had a vegan menu, what would you want to be on it?
Have you been to the Spiral Diner here?
No.
Okay, well I went there yesterday, and I think it'd be almost identical to that menu. It is so good. But like, it's like unhealthy. Yeah, it's like unhealthy vegan food, which I'm not always down for, but was very down for yesterday. No salads at Pops.
What did you have at Starbucks?
I had this, I think it was called the Spiral Burger. Just a little casual burger. I don't like Beyond Meat. Freaks me out.
You don't like Beyond Meat?
No.
Mine sausages are actually really good.
Haven't tried, but you guys probably don't know what we're talking about. It's a vegan alternative like burger. I've never had real meat, but it just feels like it's real meat.
Okay, so yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, which is like weird to me.
Their nachos are really good. I was there on Friday. So.
Oh man, I should have met you first. So now I know the next one's in Dallas.
If you could do a crossover with any other show that's currently filming, which one would you do?
We've said this before. Don't show me.
Yeah, but I think at the time we picked one that has to do with Archie comics. Maybe.
Maybe.
I would definitely do Game of Thrones.
Everybody dies in Game of Thrones, right? Right? I actually haven't seen it. That's just what I feel like I see online. Game of Thrones, interesting choice. Do you watch that show?
So I'm really behind. I'm starting season 2.
Very behind. Isn't it like 20 seasons?
Yeah, like about 11. But like I am very behind, but I love it.
Oh, I don't know. Where would Cheryl belong? I don't know. Maybe like throw her in Ozark, sling some drugs for a while, go back to her roots.
I would love to do, honestly, because that was a great crossover, and then there's the games. Yeah.
Although my hair would be blue on that show. Have you guys noticed how they forced that show to be like legitimately blue? Anyone? No? Okay. It's like blue. It's very blue.
Any other questions? Vanessa, what do you think about Toni? And Madelaine?
What do you think about Cheryl?
What do I think about Toni? I mean, I love playing Toni. I think she's an awesome character. I think she's badass. She's strong, she's independent, and yeah, that's what I love about her. I love her style.
I love Cheryl. She's my girl. She's oddly messed up, but gotta love her. And she's funny. I like her little brain. Big brain. Medium-sized brain. Cheryl's smart at times, and she can really dumb at times. But I love her fashion sense. I love her taste in women, clearly. Her family I don't love so much, but that's life.
What do you think you had in common with your characters?
I mean, there's some personality traits that I find similar.
You're both gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Love that. Love you. yeah, I feel like I kind of just like take from Toni, to be honest. Like I kind of like